Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here. We're doing an 8-4 Magic Origins draft. The rare, not so playable. I think we're just going to slam a Claustrophobia here. It's a pretty awesome removal spell. There's also Elvish Visionary, much love for that card. Blessed Spirits, which is a pretty nice build around. Otherwise, a 3-mana 2/2 flyer, which isn't bad. And Dwynen's Elite, which is also a good card. I guess Totem Guide, Heart of Beast, which is also good. But I'm just going to take the removal here. Ooh, past Cruel Revival. That's pretty strong. There's also Sigiled Starfish in here, which stays on color with Claustrophobia, which is certainly interesting. I mean, just because we were past the Cruel Revival doesn't mean anything. We basically just got a pack where someone took the rare and passed it. Bunch of good blue cards in here. I think the major issue with taking Cruel Revival is that someone's going to be motivated to go into blue with both Aspiring Aeronaut, Sigiled Starfish, and I guess Disperse as well. And Ring Warden Owl is playable. A lot of good blue playable cards in here, which makes this kind of a difficult pick. But I think Cruel Revival is just so good for the for the mere reason that it almost kills everything in this format. And the fact that you can return a zombie card. And it helps that zombies are in blue. I think I gotta take Cruel Revival. But like I said, the real problem with this pack is it's gonna motivate someone to go into blue. So maybe I don't marry the Claustrophobia, but I take the Cruel Revival. Okay, so best card in this pack is probably Rock's Mauler. Next closest, maybe the Throwing Knife, which is in fact playable. Couple good blue cards. Black card's pretty unexciting. There is an Evolving Wilds as well. Maybe I could splash for the Cruel Revival. I could just take the Rock's Mauler. Like I said, it's a pretty playable 5-drop. I do like Throwing Knife. I think blue-black is not the place for it, but we also may not be in blue or black. Kind of just want to take the best card here in Rock's Mauler. Nothing else. I mean, this pack's not like ridiculous any way you slice it. I mean, far and away, Rock's Mauler is the best card in here. I'm just going to take it. If it pans out, awesome. If not, whatever. Okay. So there's a Lightning Javelin, which is fine. Undead Servant, which, it's a zombie. Unfortunately, it doesn't synergize that well with Cruel Revival since it gives you zombies based on each one in your graveyard. There's a Pharika's Disciple, which I've liked quite a bit. I've got some real choices here. I mean, Lightning Javelin seems like it's the best card. Undead Servant might work the best if I can get a bunch of them. Although I don't like really going into these cycles that much. Like, Cleric's just fine on its own. You don't need a bunch of them to make a 2-mana 2/2 good. But a 4-mana 3/2 is pretty lackluster unless you get a bunch of them. I don't really like the Undead Servant that much, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think I'm going to take the Lightning Javelin. Yes, I understand we're going to 4-color. I don't really care. I think it's just early enough where I figure things out as I go. Like, getting an Unholy Hunger now is a pretty good sign. There is Jesse and Thief, which I like quite a bit. But I think taking Unholy Hunger here is definitely going to work out well. Couple good red cards, too. Perhaps that is ultimately the direction we'll end up. There's a Chandra's Fury, which I like. There's Zendikar's Royal, which is actually fine. No zombies to be had. I could take the Chandra's Fury. It's pretty playable. It might actually be the best card in here. I mean, you can definitely main deck it, and there's quite a few occasions where it can do some big things for you. I think we'll take it here. Maybe I end up black-red, possibly. I can take Ram Roller. It keeps my options a little bit better. Otherwise, there's like Force Mage and Bell. Yeah, there's nothing else good in here. I think we'll take the Ram Roller. I mean, this card's legitimately good if you've got enough artifacts to support it, which we should be able to find in red or blue. Okay, Weight of the Underworld is, in fact, a removal spell, so I think we'll take that over the Cobble Brute. I mean, right now our strongest cards are in black, for sure. So I'm digging that. Okay, I love Elvish Visionary. Tabling it might be a good sign. Otherwise, I take Bellows Lizard in red. I'm not very excited by Catacomb Slug. I think Visionary is definitely the best card remaining here. And then we get the Aeronaut back, which is really interesting since it works well with the Ram Roller. The black cards don't excite me that much. Revenant, I think, is just too bad to play. I don't really like it. I mean, yeah, it synergizes with, like, Return Centaur. And I guess in blue-black it synergizes with, like, Screeching Scab. But I think I just take Aeronaut here. Meteorite seems like a fine pickup. Tabled Undead Servant, sure. Neither of these cards are particularly playable. All right, interesting pack one. I don't hate where we're at. I think right now I want to be in black, and I'm not really established on what my second color is yet. Certainly not white, I can assure you that. Okay, well, Acolyte of the Inferno is pretty insane. A lot of good options here for us, actually. There's also Fiery Impulse, which is a nice one-mana removal spell. There is Unholy Hunger, which might actually be the best pick for us. It's Acolyte of the Inferno, if I knew I was going to be in red, would be the best, but... Well, let's take out green cards that I don't care about, like Reclaim and Mantle of Webs. So, I mean, I could take the Acolyte. I think taking Unholy Hunger, though, is like the wisest, because it's a good removal spell, and at this point I'm pretty much 100% in black. So even though I think Acolyte is a better card, I think taking the Hunger... Wow, and then we get past a Winnower. That's insane. Yeah, we're slamming this. Otherwise, there's Somberworld Alpha, Fiery Impulse, just all sorts of goodies, but Winnower is insane. Cool Revival, number 2, and an Unholy Hunger. Jeez. I'm not opposed to playing all the 5-drop removals in like an 18-land deck that's just high value, but the only way to make that work is we've got to have some early game. But still, I'm going to take Cruel Revival here. There's Possess Scab, which could table as well, and I guess doesn't actually work with Cruel Revival. Reeve Soul's insane. I'm going to take that. Who knows? Maybe we end up mono black, make the mono black dream come to life. Anointer is kind of surprising after we managed to pick up 0 white cards in the first couple packs. I am pretty good on 5-drops, aren't I? Nothing here impresses me that much. Guess I can... Force Mage is pretty ugly. I think I'm actually going to take Gather the Pack speculatively. All right, Despoiler seems fine. It's a 2-drop. It doesn't block, though, but it's a rare. I'm still holding out hope maybe I could make the mono black dream come alive, even though there's no real incentive. I could take Aspiring Aeronaut here, which is actually pretty decent, but I'll take the Despoiler. It's rare. Undercity Troll getting passed. All right, maybe that's the sign I need. Let's just maybe commit to... I mean, Undercity Troll is fantastic, so maybe green-black is what I want. Wow. Well, we could take Eyeblight Assassin, which is good. But there is Titanic Growth and Might of the Masses. I think Titanic Growth's better. I've had some really good experiences with Titanic Growth. I think because we have all these removal spells, though, we probably more likely just want to go creature here. Alright, I mean, Shaman of the Pack is on color. It is a fine card. Not a zombie, though. Titanic Growth seems pretty awesome for us. I'm just happy we're we're in a deck here, and we're actually looking pretty good. Empath is very good. Fourth to last pick, Empath is pretty insane. I guess we'll take Dirtle here. All right, so this deck really just needs... I think this deck just needs a couple Leaf Guilders, and we're set. But we're looking like an 18... Well, are we an 18-lander? I mean, granted, if this was like 3 5-drops, 3 6-drops, I don't think I would play 18 lands. So maybe having 6 5-drops is fine. It just means I really have to strongly prioritize my 2 and 3 drops. If I can find 4 2 and 3-drop spells to top this deck off, I think we'll be fine. Would likely want it to be creatures, but our removal count is pretty insane. I think at this point I want to dump the Ram Roller. Geez, Languish too? Whirler Rogue is insane. There's a Read the Bones. I think we take the Languish. I mean, being able to Languish into another removal spell is pretty good. Otherwise, yeah, not really that much else for us, I guess. So, all right, Languish it is. Timberpack Wolf seems fine. We need more cheap spells. I'll take it. Maybe we even manage to find another one if we get lucky. I think Ram Roller wants to be out of this deck. I don't really like it. We don't look like the aggressive kind of deck. The deck that wants to swing every turn. Naturalist is so good, but... Problem is, it's another 5-drop. I guess I could take Disciple. Naturalist is better, but when you've got 6 5-drops, I think you gotta call it quits. So, I mean, there's also Wild Instincts, but I think we're more on the hunt for good creatures, and Disciple's actually a pretty good one. Chief of the Foundry is very good. Guess it's not that good in our deck though, so maybe I would prefer Eyeblight Assassin number 2. But I think 2/3 body that... I guess there's nothing it pumps though, is there? Even Undead Servant looks like crap. I could take Eyeblight Assassin number 2. It does kill Thopter tokens. It's a elf for Shaman of the Pack synergy. Not really all that exciting other than that, but I don't even want to play Undead Servant at this point. I mean, either way, it's definitely a creature. I probably would prefer the 2/3 to a second Eyeblight Assassin. I'm not exactly sure. Wild Instincts? Jeez. I mean, we'll take it, but still need some creatures here. We'll take the Might of the Masses, although it's not looking very good in the creature light deck, but neither is anything else. All right. Shaman of the Pack versus Eyeblight Assassin. I think I would actually prefer a second Shaman of the Pack. It's debatable, I'm sure, but let's cut the Gather the Pack. Bring in another creature here. I think having the 3 power can be nice, though. All right, Hitchclaw Recluse actually seems good. I mean, granted, Return Centaur actually works with Cruel Revival, but I don't think I need it. What am I cutting? Actually at a loss at what I'm supposed to cut here. I think Recluse is right, though. It blocks, it buys us time. Although it doesn't get returned like Centaur, but we kind of are good on 4-drops, plus we need some reach. Titanic Growth number 2, slightly more exciting than Might of the Masses, I guess. And Slug's not all that good. Goldforge Sentinel, maybe. Take the rare. I don't really care about either of these. Aerial Volley is a good sideboard card. Touch of Moonglove, not really necessary. Okay, well, we have a pretty good looking deck, actually. We have a lot of good removal. We ended up with enough creatures. I think we're going to end up cutting some spells. probably Weight of the Underworld gets cut. I think 15 creatures is correct. It's the amount of creatures I want for this deck for sure. I don't think I need to run 18 lands, but it's not the worst idea ever. I do have Elvish Visionary and Empath, though, to sort of help me curve out. It's not like our curve's terrible either. Like, granted, we're top heavy, but like I said, even if we had like 4 5-drops, 3 6-drops, would I necessarily run 18 lands? I don't think so. I think I actually want to cut Despoiler. It's not that it's a bad card, but maybe I can't afford to, actually. Let's cut Weight. I think our other removal's better. And I think we actually cut 1 Titanic Growth, too. Probably only need 1 actual combat trick besides all this awesome removal we have. Problem is, not much survives our Languish. It's really just Rocks Maulers. But I guess Despoiler can get Languished and then you can just bring it back. It's kind of cool, actually. I don't like that it can't block, though. But I don't have any other creature I can really do. I think this deck's fine. I mean, we have a lot of 5-drop removal. And we don't have any zombies, which makes the Cruel Revival slightly less exciting. But, like, we actually don't have any zombies. Unless I play Undead Servant, but that's not worth it. I think I like all of our other creatures more. Although Chief of the Foundry just buffs Sentinel. Is that right? Chief of the Foundry is pretty much just a 3-mana 2/3, but I kind of feel like this deck needs a 3-mana 2/3. We want some early defense. Thankfully we have 4. Well, Despoiler can't block though, but our other 3 creatures at 2 are fine. And we have a Reeve Soul. I think we're fine. Like this. I think this deck's fine. I don't think there's anything else I want to run. I like it. Like I said, a lot of 5-drops, but I think that's okay. More black than green in this deck. Still probably want to do a 9-8 split, I think. Yeah, this deck seems fine. Like this. I don't have any issues with this deck, really. A little 5-drop heavy, but I think the weakest card in the deck is probably Despoiler. And cutting Despoiler for an 18 land, I'm not exactly sure I want to get behind that. Like, our 2 and 3 drops can... I feel like they can do a little bit of work for us until we get to our 5-drops. And we only have 1 6-drop, so I think this is fine the way it is. Alright, so we'll run it like this, and we'll see you round 1.